Good morning. Hope everyone is having an amazing Wednesday. Good morning, Linda. Thank you for being in here this morning. I honestly, trying to do all of this going live everywhere, it's not for the faint of heart. It took me a minute. And initially, I thought I was logged in, but I wasn't. And then when I logged, it was just a lot going on. We're good now. But for some reason, it's not going live on YouTube, weirdly. Let me see what's happening here. Yeah, Instagram is tripping. I don't know. I got nothing. And it's fine. I'll do IG later. Good morning, everyone. I'm doing well this morning. It's a lot going on YouTube. And I think once you become a content creator, you realize that YouTube and TikTok, social media is its own entity of a sort. It's its own orbit, right? And a lot of people exist in these communities, exist in these orbits. And there's a lot that happens. So, coming out of reality TV and now being a content creator, I realize that content creators have their own beefs and nonsense. And, if you get into the mess, I don't get into the mess. I don't care what people think about me being on as a content creator. I don't care what people think about my opinion. You ain't got to like it. You ain't got to agree with it. I ain't looking up nobody to see what they think about me, whether it's good or bad. Good morning, Tara. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, Lori Bell Carter. That's just none of my business. If you were at work this morning, turn me down or put your AirPods in. Turn me down or put your AirPods in. I'm telling you now. Because you know me, I'm loud. But I would, get someone to tap in, make sure you share, invite someone to join us. It's going to be a good live this morning. I said, you know what? It's time for a Winter Wisdom Wednesday. And I'm excited about it. For those who don't know, you guys know that I am a person of faith. And not just any sort of person of faith. Like, I truly believe that faith is my foundation. And that's just what it is. I don't play around with it. I know a lot of people can use faith as a weapon. They use it as a way to shame, bully, manipulate, and it's not right. So I'm going to address this before I get into the thick of what I want to talk about this morning. But if you are a person of faith, I really want you to listen with your heart open, because it's personal for me, but it's not personal for me. And I tell people all the time that I am a person that now with reality TV, I'm on the outside looking in. When I get into certain discussions or topics, I'm not judging. I am merely giving my opinion. I don't know a lot of these people personally. I may know them in passing, but there's something that I am witnessing that is troublesome to me, because I have been on the receiving end of this behavior. And I just want to be clear. I don't care who you guys like or dislike when it comes to these shows. Everybody has their favorites. Everyone has their people. But we have to be really careful, because we don't always have inside information. We don't always have the truth. And as content creators, really our job is to dissect the situation at hand, give our observation, give our opinion, and then we get off of it. You cannot personally give context. You cannot personally give any inside unless you own the inside. Other than that, everything else is speculation. It's speculation. All that to say, we know that with Love and Marriage Huntsville, there's been a lot of back and forth this season with what I'm going to call them, the Three Musketeers, with Destiny, Moses, and Sonny. The Three Musketeers came on Love and Marriage Huntsville with a storyline that a lot of people have been dissecting and discussing. If you have followed Love and Marriage Huntsville for any given amount of time, you know that the fan base at large does not really care for Destiny. Okay? Whatever. You like and dislike who you choose. Now, fast forward, we know that Sonny came into the thing defending her decision to marry Moses, despite Moses being Destiny's ex, side piece, jump off, whatever. Really don't matter. They're adults. It's really none of our business. But y'all brought this to reality TV, so now we're all discussing it. All that to say, what I have seen is that people have a failure to actually dissect the issue at hand because of their personal feelings towards a person. Now, what I was actually happy to see in this Three Musketeers situation is that people put their personal feelings about Destiny aside and was actually able to see that regardless of y'all wanting to like Sonny or not, as a woman, you can say, okay, fine, you chose him, but you still get a side eye for the way you handled the situation, and you could have handled the situation better. Can we all agree? Moving forward. Sonny had a PR faux pas. Let's just call a thing. Doesn't matter if you like Sonny. Doesn't matter if you support Sonny. At the end of the day, she had a PR faux pas. She did. There's no excuse you can give it. I don't want to hear about what she's going through. It was a PR faux pas. She subsequently came back, apologized. Some people believed her and accepted her apology. Some people didn't. Okay. What I then witnessed was people trying to pin Moses's jail sentence on Destiny. Let me explain something very clear. Y'all, this happened to me earlier this year. When it came to two of my castmates. I went on Reality Rundown, told a very true and real situation because people didn't like that I told the truth. They came on YouTube and accused me of releasing information to a blogger. Y'all, it was completely false. It was slanderous. It was defamation. They went live to tell y'all on this internet that I released photos of the man in question to a blogger. And I 1000% with everything in me, I will put my hand on a Bible. Did not do that. In fact, another content creator said, Winter, I know for sure you didn't do it because I know who sent it. Let me explain something very clear. I will never agree with people speculating someone doing something to the detriment of someone's character and defaming them when you don't have proof that they did it. That is problematic for me. I will never agree with that because I was a victim of people lying and saying I did something that I did not do. In fact, I don't talk about it often because you best believe it's going to be handled legally. I don't agree with it. So you don't have to like Destiny. You don't have to get behind anything that she does, but accusing her of turning in Moses without proof that she turned in Moses, I disagree with that. I'm so serious. Don't come over here with that. Don't ask me to speak on it. I don't agree with it. I don't have proof that she did that. We can speculate why He wasn't turned in when he was with Destiny. All we want to. It's neither here nor there. The reality is that I put the blame on him. He took his behind out of state when he wasn't supposed to. And regardless of whether or not he was caught when he was with Destiny, or now that he's been caught when he's with Sonny, he had no business doing it. And I'm not going to make excuses for a grown man who made a decision, because you ain't that dumb. You knew that you had probation. You knew the conditions of your probation. You want to ask me how I know? Y'all know I have nothing to I have nothing to hide. I am not ashamed. I have talked about this time and time again. It is one of the reasons why I do advocacy work with returning citizens. When I was in college, I got in trouble. And if it was not for a friend's mom who was a lawyer, y'all, I could have gotten in a lot of trouble. But she advocated for me. I did not do jail time at all, but I did do probation. One of the conditions was that it was expunged from my record, so y'all can't find it at all. So if I don't talk about it, you can't look it up and find it. But I'm telling you the truth. When you meet with your probation officer, they tell you the conditions of your probation. They are required by law to go down what you can and cannot do, what your responsibilities are. If you're required to hold a job, you have to tell them. If you are not allowed to go outside, thank you, all that ish. If you're not allowed to go outside of the state, they make it plain. So we're not going to sit here and speculate who turned them in and who snitched and who did. That's irrelevant. The fact of the matter is you violated your probation and you knew better. You took a risk to be on TV for whatever your reasons are. That ain't, hey, you made the decision, sir. I'm not blaming Sonny. I'm not blaming Destiny. The blame lies with Moses. Period. You did it. You made the decision. We're sitting here discussing, well, I wonder if Sonny encouraged him. I don't care what she encouraged him to do. He's a grown-tail man. And I'm not going to sit here and put the blame on two women for a grown-tail man who made a decision. I think it's facetious. I think it's nasty. Y'all don't understand the damage that y'all do to people's personal and private reputations when y'all speculate this mess. It's not okay. If you claim to be a believer, you are wrong, and you ought to feel convicted for doing this stuff to people. I am not a Destiny attorney, nor am I a Sonny attorney. When I give my opinion, I speak from my own personal experience and my own personal life's wisdom that I've gained. I stand on everything I've said thus far. I would gladly say anything that I've said to people's faces directly. But when you speculate something that is so damaging, y'all, it's not okay. And I'm not okay with it. I'm so serious. I'm not okay with it. Again, not here to be an advocate for Sonny, not here to be an advocate for Destiny. What I am here to be an advocate for is being mindful of how what we do on this internet can really damage and hurt people's real lives. I literally had content creators going live thinking they were reporting tea, spreading rumors, defaming my character, accusing me of digging and giving information to bloggers. Ain't nobody got time for that. I don't care about my castmates or ex-castmates that bad or that much. Anything I have to say, I said it. What I said on Reality Rundown was the absolute God honest truth. And far be it for some of y'all to actually realize that some of the people y'all rock for are out here doing mess in a real life. And then when the mess actually get brought to the forefront, y'all want to defend it. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, because a lot of times y'all are defending lies and people that are living lies. So I don't agree. It was Tara. When I tell you, when I saw what was happening, it bothers me so bad. If you want to give Sunny grace, give Sunny grace. Give her grace. Give her grace. I'm not saying you don't have to give Sunny grace, but to sit here and speculate and now try to shift the blame to Destiny when a grown tail man made a decision to take his happy behind across state lines, knowing the details of his probation. And yes, he knew the details of his probation. He took a risk. It's wrong. It's defamation and it's wrong. It's slander and it's wrong. And I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it. So don't send me no messages asking me what I think. And do I believe Destiny told? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Now y'all out here riding for this belief system, y'all, and it's wrong. I hate it so much because I don't believe that people should have to deal with that. I don't. I'm telling you, it was brutal, y'all. And I'm literally coming from personal experience. It was brutal. It was brutal. I don't care who snitched on him. Why you take your overgrown behind across state lines? Let's call a thing a thing. You put yourself on a national TV platform. Y'all don't think these probation officers look? Y'all are crazy if you believe otherwise. And you ain't got, you can dislike a person all you want to. And for some of y'all that claim to be Christians, let me just be very clear. I'm only speaking to the ones that claim to be Christians. It ain't no way you can sit your behind on these YouTube streets and come for certain people the way you do and say you claim to serve God. You better learn to take your personal feelings out of it and just dissect the content at hand. But defaming people, slandering people is not okay. Coming for people's character is not okay. I promise you, I can give my opinion on all these folks. And if I met them in person, I wouldn't treat them any differently than I treated anybody else. But it's some nastiness going on. It ain't no way you could claim to be a child of God and be a part of it. Use a lie and the truth ain't in you. I'm telling you now. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Some of y'all think y'all are God. And you're not. You're not God. It's no different than people getting on this internet threatening folks and saying, God gonna get you. God is the wildest thing I've seen recently, y'all, is literally two women of God going for each other, saying that God was going to take each of them down. So which one of y'all is of the Lord and which one of y'all ain't? Y'all look foolish. Sometimes it's best to be quiet and not speak on things. And like I said, I ain't here to advocate for nobody. What I'm here to advocate for is be very mindful, y'all. These are people's real lives. I'm sorry that Sunny is bearing the brunt. Thank you, Dorian. Thank you, Joe. I'm sorry that Sunny is bearing the brunt of her husband's decisions. It's not. It's unbecoming. It's embarrassing. It is. But I'm not about to sit here and jump on a Destiny bandwagon. Destiny got enough problems on her own. She do. She got enough problems on her own. We out here in the Love and Marriage Huntsville streets that's out here commenting on Love and Marriage. We got enough things to dissect with Destiny. We don't have to just throw this in the bucket for the sake of stirring up the pot and trying to level the playing field when the reality is that Sunny has to sit in the mess she created on this social media. That's really what it is. Don't think that I can't see what's happening because I've seen it. I've literally seen it with myself. We trying to level the playing field because Sunny stuck her foot in her mouth. Let's call a thing a thing. And then instead of letting Sunny sit in the mess she created and actually work to earn her audience's respect and trust back, we're going to shift blame to Destiny. Period. But when I sat and I saw what was happening as a believer, I was like, oh no, I felt convicted. And there's no way you can be a believer and not be convicted about trying to blame shift when there's one person responsible. Nobody's dogging Sunny. At least I'm not. I never dog Sunny. I'm saying, Sunny, I don't understand why you came on social media like this. I'm saying, Sunny, I don't understand why you windmill for the man the way you do. Granted, he may be your husband, but baby, sit this one out. Sit this one out. Sit this one out. There's no way you can claim to be a believer and feel good about it. There's no way. What I can say, like I've said in several chats, I'm praying for Sunny. I'm praying that Sunny takes a step away from social media. I'm praying that Sunny learns from this experience and learns how to enter social media better. Does she need some PR training? Absolutely. It's some things I don't give Sunny a pass in because she is a producer, y'all. And there's a lot of things that she knows and is privy to that a lot of us aren't. So in some ways, it's kind of like, okay, you know better. You know better. But on the flip side, as a woman, I could say this is embarrassing. But I'm not going to blame shift and start saying, well, Destiny turned him in. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. No, and no. Moses has to sit in his decision, and Sunny has to sit in her decision to own what she did on social media that offended so many folks. Period. It's no way. I literally was like, you know what? This was so on my heart this morning, and people can think what they want to think. I really do not care. I don't. But I'm telling you now, it's not okay. It's not right. You can claim to love the Lord all you want to. But if you can do this mess and drag people's, defame people's character and assassinate people's character and sleep at night and be okay with it, ain't no way you could tell me God told you to do that. No way. And trust me, I'm a real Bible believing Christian. So I understand there are times where we have to speak up. There are times where we have to literally be vocal. But this tread lightly. Be mindful of the seeds you sow. Be mindful of the seeds you sow. You don't want things to swing back around. And I'm telling you, you can't always control how this mess swing back around. Sometimes our favorites get it wrong. Sometimes our favorites get it wrong. It is what it is. It's no harm in saying, you know what? I rock with Sunny. Sunny, you could have done better with the way you handled this social media situation. Right? But Moses, you got to sit in it. Can Moses turn his situation around? Hey, Sassy, can Moses turn his situation around? Absolutely. Y'all, I believe in redemption. I believe in grace. Baby, even Destiny can turn her life around, turn her situation around. I think the worst thing Destiny could have done was come back on this show under this storyline. That's what I think. I've been saying this since I said it. I think it was the worst way because I think Destiny's public persona was actually better when she was off the show. Period. I do. But y'all swear up and down that God is only for certain people. When if you read your own Bible, it literally says God reigns on the just as well as the unjust, meaning he reigns on people you can't stand. Y'all think I'm crazy enough to believe that God doesn't bless my enemies? That God isn't opening doors for my enemies? You don't believe the Bible. We can't be the same type of believer. We can't be reading the same Bible. And we love to throw scripture around and we love to throw stuff around. I'm not judging anyone. Actually, I'm that girl. If you rewind a live, it's a point I'm making. It's actually due to the judging that we have for the people that we hate. And we don't have that same type of energy for the people that we love, as if the people that we love can do no wrong. And sometimes the people that we love can absolutely be in the wrong, period, whether we like it or not. But to come on this internet and defame because we don't like a person is a problem for me. You cannot say that you believe your Bible then. Believe something else. Believe something else, because you couldn't possibly believe the Bible you claim to read. But we have to be more mindful. For those that are content creators, y'all, I am urging y'all. It's nothing wrong with reporting on what's going on. But please be mindful that these are people's real lives. These are people's real lives. And I'm telling you, some of the things y'all say can absolutely be damaging to people's real lives. It bothers me. I could hardly sleep last night. It bothered me so bad because I was like, no, why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? Don't do that. So Sonny and Moses got enough problems. I'm not here to cover up and sweep up and spray perfume on two adults that made a decision. Do I believe that we should pray for them? Absolutely. Do I believe that if you like them, follow them. Let it be what it is. But a lot of this mess that we're doing, it's just not okay. It's not. You said today's sermon, sometimes our faiths get it wrong. It's true. Sometimes our faiths get it wrong. We don't want to believe that. Like, I just don't understand. It is very reckless, Pacino. I don't like it. I don't like it. I literally don't like it. So that's what was on my heart to speak, and I'm good on it. Like, at the end of the day, it happened. Whether or not they'll be on the next season, we don't know. I do hope that a lot of them take some time off. There's already enough going on. We don't have to add fuel to the fire. I know, let's go ahead and address this. People have tagged me and said that my name was mentioned in a live, and it's been speculation whether it was in reference to me. Y'all, let's be very clear. He's not referencing me. I have never had Carlos's number. Never. Any conversations that Carlos and I have ever had have either been in person or in the DM. I don't have his number. I don't see him regularly. I have seen Carlos 4 times in my entire life in person. So he's not referring to me. I have not spoken to Carlos. Good God. in at least 8 months. Well, I take that back. I spoke to him when it came to the podcast. He reached out to me to see if I would do it in the DM. I told him yes at the time, and then I changed my mind. It ain't me he's referring to. I just want to be clear. It's not me. I don't even see the man. Okay? I don't see the man. So take my name out the group chat. It's not me. It's not me. It's not me. Okay? Just want to be clear. So we can yeah, it's not me. So there's been no conversation. I have no communication with anyone from production, unless it is a friend of mine. I have no communication with anyone from network, except for one lady who is high up in the network that I've known even before I got on Love and Marriage DC. That's it. I don't talk to anybody else. When it comes to my former cast, I only talk to Ashley and Quick. If I run into the Duncans, we're cool. Don't have any issue with them. And that's if I run into them. I haven't seen them in ages. We don't stay in the same area. In fact, heck, we live about 2 hours away from each other. So I ain't running into these folks. So any speculation about who's talking to it ain't me. It ain't me. I've said all I was going to say in my exit interview. Anything else I talk about is on my YouTube channel. That's it. I'm not sitting here arguing with these folks. I'm not. Any additional things are handled through my attorney. That's it. I know people be wanting people to beef, and it just ain't me. I think y'all would be shocked to know that my life outside of this is very peaceful, very unproblematic, not chaotic at all. I just live my life. Yeah, it's so interesting, y'all. I literally have been getting tagged, or people have been sending me messages saying that a certain somebody was talking about me. And I'm like, no, it's not me. You said, when did you exit? Back in March, I quit the show. So Nakia, me and Ashley, so to answer your question, it's not that me and Ashley are back friends. I didn't know nobody on my cast at all prior to filming the show. The only 2 people I knew were the Samuels. I didn't know anybody else. I wasn't friends with anybody else. I didn't hang out with anybody else. I didn't know these people. So it's not that we're back friends. We were getting to know each other, and then things went left. And then I came back, second and third season, and we fell out. So we're becoming friends, and we are. People don't have to like it. Again, I try to help y'all understand that oftentimes what's shown on these reality TV shows are not reality. This is why y'all see so many people from Real Housewives. They can drag you on TV, but y'all be cool outside. A lot of these people y'all think arguing and fighting and carrying on, they don't really be arguing and fighting for real. They just doing what they got to do to appear to have drama. In fact, a lot of the girls on RHOP, y'all, they friends. They hang out. They fine in real life. They can drag each other one season and be perfectly cool the next. I really think the situation with Candace got out of hand, much like my situation got out of hand. And if the situation hadn't gotten out of hand, everybody would have been just fine. I just think the situation got out of hand. Thank you, Candy. Thank you, Chef Don Don. I appreciate that. Please clear the rumors up. I'm like, don't put me in it. I am a content creator, y'all. I know some of these content creators on YouTube don't like that I be on here giving my opinion, but suck it up, buttercup. I'm a content creator. I'm going to content create, and I'm going to give my opinion because that's what I do. It's just, it's wild. You could be on here giving your opinion, but if I give mine, now you mad. It's wild. I don't have an issue with anybody giving their opinion. Give your opinion. Hey, Lolo. But still, it's just all that to say, y'all. That was first thing on my heart this morning. I wanted to also clear up that it's not me that he's talking about. I don't talk to him, never had his number. I do my best to mind the business that pays me. I get on YouTube, I discuss entertainment, and I've discussed a lot of things. And I get off and I go back to living my life. I enjoy my life. I love my life, actually. Not Brittany, not Chester Cat. Thank you, Sugar Sweet. I appreciate that. Not Chester Cat. All that to say, we are at a pivotal, critical time in our world. I got an opportunity yesterday, actually, and I'll be working with Win with Black Women on some additional initiatives. I know the huge focus is to drive people to vote, drive people to get involved. If you are not involved politically, I would highly encourage you to get involved. I have trained my kids to be involved politically since they were kids, and my kids regularly discuss politics. As recently as Monday, my son wrote me in a group chat because he had just watched a debate and had some thoughts on it. And my kids don't even all have the same political views, but I have taught them to do their homework, and they vote their beliefs, they vote their convictions, they vote their intelligence, they do research on candidates. I tell people it's literally like having a Republican and a Democrat under one roof. My two older kids are voting age. I don't try to govern who they vote for and who they don't vote for. That is a personal opinion. That is a personal decision. What I do encourage them to do is vote. All that to say, I got an opportunity, and I'll be working with Win with Black Women to help really shape the trajectory of Black women stepping to the forefront. Women of all races serving as allies to really course correct, whereas Black women have truly been left in the dust as it relates to race equity, income equity, respect equity, right? I do believe that Black women are some of the least protected in our society, and I hope that this initiative helps to course correct some of that. You guys are very familiar with a lot of the work I do. Yes, if you want to call it women's empowerment, fine. But I'm kind of soured on the whole women's empowerment jargon because I do believe it's been overused and used to manipulate people into following certain people that want to drain them dry. I believe in growth. I believe in thriving. I believe in elevation. I believe in raising the next generation of leaders. That is extremely important to me. And for some of the women that have felt left behind, I think that is one of the reasons why I have such a disdain for people who are getting on this internet and appearing to be the end all be all at the detriment, I feel, of others, because you're seeing yourself as so much higher than everybody else. And I can't stand that. We can absolutely empower women to grow and thrive forward without making it appear like we're so much better than them and we are the epitome of success. Because at the end of the day, we are all human. We all put our pants on the same way. We all bleed red blood. And at a moment's notice, our lives can be turned upside down. And the very life that you bragged about and touted in front of people can be snatched from you. So I believe in empowering women from a place of, I have been where you are. Life is not always hunky-dory. Life does not always go as planned, but you can always get back up. Period. You can have the life you desire. You can have the life you create. And yes, Jacqueline, please get involved at the local level. I was just saying this last night on a call that a lot of times we avoid local elections, but those are the elections that directly impact us. Not the national, not the state, but the local level. A lot of the grievances that you have with your day-to-day life are politically addressed at the local level. And because we have so many people that don't get involved politically locally, we get national messes. I'm going to be honest. I don't love the political climate that we're in right now. I don't love the political state of our nation. However, I do know that at the depth of every transition is a great opportunity to birth something new and a greater future. That's what I believe. That's what I believe. So while it sucks and I ain't thrilled about it, right? I believe this is a great transition in our country, is a great transition in our world to actually course correct and right some wrongs. That's what I believe. So I'm excited about this opportunity. This opportunity came by referral. Somebody referred me. And y'all know, for as much as I love to kiki and laugh and things like that, I do take what I do outside of social media very seriously. And I do at times leverage my platform to give light to the work I do outside of social media, because that is where my legacy will be. That is where the changes that need to be made by me will be made, or the impact that I feel like God has placed me in the earth to accomplish will be done. All that to say, good morning, Sakithia. I do want to speak to those of us, because y'all, I'm telling you, so I had a friend of mine that went live that used to live in Tampa. We do know that I think it's Hurricane Helene is en route to that area. A lot of people have been urged to evacuate. We don't know the damage that will be done once that hurricane hits that particular area. But I'm seeing so many things go on in our world. And honestly, for a lot of people, if they're being honest, this has been a very difficult year. I can't speak for nobody else, but let me raise my hand. And if I could raise both, I would. It has been a very difficult year. It has been a very tough year, whether it be people experiencing death, loss, job loss, moving, relationship loss. There's just been a lot going on in our world. We won't even go to all the things that's been going on across this world, but we know it's a very iffy and tumultuous time. A lot of people feel uncertain. A lot of people feel scared. A lot of people feel a sense of instability. 2024 has been brutally aggressive with the way that things have transpired. We see it in every sphere of influence, be it entertainment, be it politics. We've seen school shootings this year. Y'all, it's just been crazy. Not to mention, I feel like you can't even blink and somebody's dying. It's been a lot. All that to say, this is still a really, really good time to get very clear on what you want to do with your life. This is still a really good time to sit down with yourself, center your spirit, and decide how you want the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years to go. If you are in the middle of a transition where you feel stuck, where you feel unsure, where you feel uncertain, this is a really good time to take some time out, sit with it, and decide what you want to do. Most millionaires are made in recessions. Do y'all know that statistically? There's a lot of millionaires that are made when the economy is shaky. And I'm going to give a theory as to why I believe that to be true. Because in the middle of uncertainty, in the middle of a recession, in the middle of job loss, that's when a lot of us finally wake up to our gifts, our talents, and our creativity, and we're forced to have to figure it out. This is why I believe that God allows for trouble to be present in our lives, and why we always go through certain situations and circumstances. Because if not for those situations and circumstances, some of us won't move. Some of us won't shift. Some of us won't do. When I tell you, I had been on the fence about revamping my business and positioning it for certain work. Do you know what forced me to do that? 2 contracts ending within a month of each other, and me not being able to close another job for the life of me. And y'all, I tell y'all all the time, don't play with it. I'm an educated woman. I have degrees. And I mean, y'all, I think at one point I had applied for 300 jobs. I'm not even kidding. 300. And nothing was happening. And as frustrating as that season was, because baby, I like making money, it was exactly what I needed to settle myself down and refocus my business. Actually settle myself down and position my business so I can be set up for success. The track that my business is on now, if I stay the course, I can have $1 million business within a year. Seriously, I'm not joking. If I settle myself down and actually continue to focus, actually continue to build, actually continue to put the parameters and the boundaries in place, I can have $1 million business in a year, a multi-million-dollar business within 5 years. But it took being on lockdown. It took things not happening as fast as I wanted them to. It took not turning around and just getting a job to put a Band-Aid on it, because a job for me is actually a distraction, because it takes up the time that I actually need to be investing in my business. Now, the other caveat to that was, God, how are you going to provide while I'm getting my business up to par? And that was a testing of my faith. Trusting that if God wasn't opening the door for me to get a regular 9 to 5, that I had to trust that he would bring provision elsewhere. Y'all, I tell you what, when I tell you this, the Lord has came through for me. I'm telling you, he has came through for me. So yes, Dorian, I agree. It's all about staying consistent. And Cece, I'm so sorry to hear about your loss. There's been a lot of loss. I myself have lost 5 people in the last year. I don't even think it's been a year yet. I'm being honest. I think back in November started my first loss. I lost my aunt. Top of the year, I lost a friend. I subsequently ended up losing 2 more friends and another aunt. So it's been hard. Grief has hit me hard this year. I don't think I have ever really grieved, with the exception of losing my daughter, the way I have grieved this year. It has been a tough year of grief for me. Hey, stay home, mommy. It's been tough. Hasn't been easy. But that still hasn't negated the work that I've had to do. Taking time for myself. If you guys go back, I took a long hiatus from social media. I was gone for almost 2 months. With the exception of posting about events, hiatus, taking a break, period. And sometimes we need that to position ourselves and course correct. Sometimes we need that to settle our spirits so God can speak to us about next steps. I was able to reposition things that I once loved. And a lot of times, God will take us out of things that we enjoy, things that we love, things that we're finding pleasure in because it's not on the track that he wants us on. I absolutely know for a fact that me leaving reality TV was a God decision. I'm sorry to hear that, Sakithia. Wow, that's a lot. I absolutely believe it was a God decision. It was time for me to get back to what I was ultimately meant to do, which was to help train, teach, encourage, propel, position women. That's where I started. I can't be focused on that and be in reality TV. It's not the same. Because of the work, because of the travel, it just doesn't work out. If I ever did reality TV, it would honestly have to be for a certain period of time where I would have to film and be done. But a lot of these shows, they film for quite some time. For the most part, y'all do know that Love and Marriage Huntsville pretty much films year round. I ain't got that kind of time. I got work to do. It works for some people. It doesn't work for all. I got a business to grow. I know, Rosie. I appreciate that. So today's winter wisdom is this is a great opportunity. This is a great season to get in alignment. This is a great opportunity for you to be still and listen. This is a great opportunity for you to pause and be productive. Get clear on what you want to do next. Sometimes this is the time for you to kick fear out of the driving seat and actually be bold enough to go after what it is you want to do. I meet so many women that sit on hopes and dreams and businesses and products and books and scripts and opportunities because they are scared. People ask me all the time, Winter, how do you do everything you do with 4 kids? The best advice I ever got from my pastor's wife when I was pregnant with my oldest daughter, she said, Winter, don't ever neglect to take care of yourself. She said, a healthy mommy is a healthy baby. A stress-free mommy is a stress-free baby. A mom who is fulfilling her desires and her dreams is a mom who is encouraging her babies to do the same. And you know what helped me not be afraid to move forward and to chase my dreams? My divorce. Because like so often, so many of us, we immerse our identity into being something else to somebody else. We immerse ourselves in being moms. We immerse ourselves in being wives. We immerse ourselves in being professionals. But what is it that you actually want to do that allows for you to be fulfilled? What is it? I would not be here today if it was not for me going through divorce and saying, you know what? Shoot, Winter has to figure out who the heck she is. I encourage women not to get so immersed in a title. Because you can wear the title of mom, you can wear the title of wife, you can wear the title of a professional, you can wear the title of a business owner. But what is it that is in your heart to actually accomplish and do? What are you holding on to? Jacqueline, now that's funny. What is actually on your heart to achieve? What do you see yourself doing? What is your legacy? What do you want to leave behind? What do you want your grandkids to talk about when you're no longer here? What do you want your great grandkids to thank you for? What things are you putting in place that will outlive you? And a lot of times we're so focused on fulfilling the title that we forget to fulfill the destiny. We forget to fulfill the purpose. We forget to fulfill the impact. I believe most moms would feel more fulfilled in being a mother if they actually found something outside of mommy and to do. You were a person and an individual before you became a wife, before you became a mother, before you became a professional. You were a person. Those dreams just don't die because you decide to get pregnant or get married or get a job. I couldn't imagine going to a job. This was me for so many years, y'all. I would go to a job that I absolutely hated. Oh, I hated it. Y'all, I hated clocking in. I didn't mind getting my check every 2 weeks. I didn't mind that. But I hated it. I didn't like it. I just can remember going to sit at a 9 to 5, right? And y'all, I was so mentally exhausted because I hated it. I hated it. I didn't like it. I felt like there was more to life than this. I felt like God was like, you were created for so much more. And it was draining me. Teresa, what does that mean, baby? Explain that. I don't know the meaning of that. Explain what you mean so I can respond. I hated it. Y'all, my battery about to die. Give me a second. I gotta plug my thing in before I lose y'all over here. But I hated it. You said I used to cry when I got off work. Oh, I hated it so much. And I said, Lord, it's got to be more. You have to have more for me. And I said, because I needed a check, I needed to provide. I said, Lord, I'm going to just hang in there. I'm going to just hang in there. Do y'all know what forced me out? I was doing 2 days a week in the office. Y'all, stressed out to the max. I was commuting an hour and a half to work, 2 hours back home. Can y'all imagine that type of commute? But because I needed a check, I was going to do it. And two days a week in the office was already stressful enough. Doing two days a week in the office where I had to come back, still be a mom, still get kids to practice, still get kids to activities. Y'all, my blood pressure started to act up, and I had gotten my blood pressure under control. I remember going into work one week. We had a team meeting, and my boss said to me, you got to come into work one more day a week. So instead of coming into work twice a week, they wanted me to come into work 3 days a week. Baby, I folded up my computer. I went right back to my office and drafted my resignation letter because 2 days a week was already stressing me the heck out. 3 days a week, in 3.5 hours of traffic, baby, get somebody else to do it. I'm going to just have to trust God. I'm so serious. I was like, I'm going to have a stroke on the way to work. My blood pressure was so high. Good morning, Rose. Absolutely. I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, no. No. I mean, my blood pressure was absolutely horrible. And my doctor was confused because she was like, Winter, what is going on? You were good. I couldn't do it. And that is what forced me to go all in. I said, Lord, I don't know what's next. And I don't know. I really don't know how I'm going to figure this out. But I'm going to figure it out. Yeah, DMV traffic is no joke. I said, oh, no. God has better. God has greater. It's got to be something else. And I actually ended up calling one of my mentors and I told her what I did. And she said, Winter, good for you. She said, I have been wondering when you were going to get back to teaching. She said, I've been wondering. She said, there's too many people out here that can use what you have. I was wondering when you were going to take the leap and go back to being an entrepreneur, because that's where it is. And quite frankly, I have been running from it. Good morning, Encourager Ed. I have been running from it. I didn't want to do it anymore. I really didn't want to do it anymore. Church folks had wore me out. They really did. And didn't want to do it anymore. But the minute I started getting back to what I feel like, God was like, girl, you shouldn't have left in the first place, but we'll deal with that later. That's when doors started opening. Even now, I'm so excited about where my business is, not just from the financial aspect, but once things are established, the ability to create jobs and opportunities for other individuals, being able to put my business in a position where I can hire on other work from home moms. Because I'm going to be honest, y'all, it is very difficult to have to go into an office day in and day out when you have kids. And it's not that you don't want to be productive in work, but if something happens and something goes wrong, to have to commute 2 hours to get to my babies is a problem. So now being in a position where I can be a CEO and hire other work from home moms that are professionals that need to make a solid living, but need to work from the comfort of their home in case something go wrong is so exciting to me. I don't want a huge workforce, right? But being able to bring on 10, 20, 30 employees where these individuals are able to create a solid living from the comfort of their home. Hey, Deary Vet, is exciting to me. It's motivating for me to actually get on my P's and Q's so I can create opportunities for women to make real careers and they're not stressed out. It's hard. I don't believe that women were created to do as much as they have to do. Y'all, listen, I'm all for equity and equality. But I truly believe that women have do y'all know the highest rate, highest killer of women is heart disease. You want to know why? I believe that to be true. Too many of us are carrying too much. Too many of us are doing too much. That's why I believe it. He gotta go. Stress, killing, stress, ruining folks. It's too much. I do not believe that women were created to handle the type of stress that we're forced to handle. I don't at all. It's too much. Heart disease ain't taking us out for no reason. So to me, the only caveat to that is to be the change I want to see. Create an environment where women can create livelihoods, make a good living, and stay at home. I worked in corporate for years, y'all. And I'm telling y'all, the way they meet our life away in some of these organizations, it's a wonder y'all have time to get work done for all the meetings. I'm like, this could have been in an email. You done sit here and wasted 30 to 60 minutes of my time talking and meeting for something that could have been in an email. I never understood it. It literally drives me nuts. Now you wondering why I can't get my work done on time. Well, we've been in a meeting for the last 3 days. It's just wild. So if this is any encouragement for you today, take some time, refocus, reposition yourself. Really take time to figure out what you want to do. Hey, Nico, figure out what you want to do. This is a great time. The most tumultuous times are the greatest times to pivot into the life that you want to live. God gave us the creativity to create our own lives, to create a life that we were excited about. This hasn't been an easy season for me, but it is an exciting season because for the first time, I feel like finally I'm creating a life that I'm excited about. Sharon, that's everybody's job. Meeting after meeting. I don't know how y'all get work done. It's too many meetings. What I will say, if you are interested in working with me, you know that you need to invest in yourself and invest in moving the needle forward. If you know that you are holding on to books in your heart and you just don't know where to start, go to my Stand store, type in Grow Her, book a session. Some of y'all might need one session. Some of y'all might need to work with me for 30 days and some of y'all might need to work with me for 12 weeks. I don't know. But I would highly encourage you to go do so. It's not crazy expensive. Although I will tell y'all, please, okay, I'm not just saying this for me. I'm saying this for anybody. I was on Threads yesterday, and this lady says she invested $9,000 into a coach. $9,000. And that lady canceled most of her sessions. Every session, the coach was either late or she canceled. And her $9,000 was non-refundable. $9,000. That's wild. Y'all vet these people. Please vet them. $9,000? I said, baby, I could have got you all the way together for a fraction. Wait, y'all out here really paying $9,000? $9,000 is bananas to me. $9,000 for her not to get what she asked for. And she was warning people, be very careful. Baby, she said she paid $9,000 up front. The lady didn't have any payment plans. So you paid $9,000 for her to coach you. And I believe it was $9,000 for 30 days. So she was supposed to get 4 sessions over 30 days. So what is that? Like 22,000, a little bit over 2,000, $2,200 a session. $9,000 this lady invested into a high-level coach. I think the highest rate I offer for support for my clients, I think the highest I have is maybe $2,700, $3,000, and that's for 12 weeks of one-to-one sessions. $9,000 for 30 days. Y'all, all investments ain't good investments. I'm a high-level coach. I kid you not. It ain't enough references I could give y'all. Literally have trained thousands of women all over this world. One of my most consistent groups is over in Turkey, the UK, South Africa, Jamaica. I can go down the gamut. I've never charged $9,000. That's insanity. I can get other coaches that will speak to my work, but $9,000, that's robbery, y'all. Yes, I believe you should invest in yourself. And I know I don't know. I feel like the coaching scam is all of these high ticket offers, right? If you can get one person to invest $9,000 or 2 people to invest $9,000, you'd have made $18,000. But is it really worth that? No. Baby, if I'm charging $9,000, I'm not charging that for an individual. A corporation's going to pay me $9,000 to train their leaders. But regular, everyday people, y'all, please just be mindful. Some of this stuff is y'all just making they pockets fat. They're not helping. They're not bringing any transformation. They're not helping you level up. Y'all just done gave up $9,000. But the reality is that a lot of people in the coaching business figured out how to manipulate pain points, because that's how they're taught to sell. You identify a pain point, you identify a problem, and you sell the solution. User, I can't see your name, but user 633, welcome to the chat. That's how they sell. You find a problem, you offer the solution. And I believe that we as executive trainers, executive coaches all the way around, yes, we provide the solution to help propel you forward depending on what solution we're offering. But robbing these folks is wild, lack of integrity type work. Wild. $9,000. That's crazy to me. For every situation, yeah, they sell the solution. Any good business person knows this. You sell a solution. You find a problem, you provide the solution. That's sales tactic 101. There's nothing wrong with it. Hey, juice and tea, people do it all the time, every day, all day. Tide is popular because they sell a solution. The problem is dirty clothes. The solution is Tide. That's sales tactic 101. You find a problem, you create a solution. Some of y'all sitting on $1 million businesses, I'm going to give you free game because you have the answer to a problem. My belief system is that every human being on this earth was created with the answer to something. I believe that with everything in me. Every human being on this planet was created to be an answer to something. The challenge that many people have, and why a lot of you seek coaching and training and courses and ebooks, It's because you have not figured out what answer you are. That's it, y'all. It's really not that deep. If you can figure out what problem you're meant to solve, and if you can figure out how to monetize that solution, you just answered your own problem. It's not rocket science. Now, some of the challenges are we have to get beyond our own fears, trauma, insecurities, self-doubt, self-limiting beliefs, so we can freaking find an answer we're meant to be. Then there are the type of people that also are not very clear on how. They may have the answer, but they don't have the how. So when you're looking for people to help you on your journey, you need to figure out what you're trying to accomplish. Otherwise, you're throwing money down the toilet. Do I need help finding my answer? Or do I need help finding my how? Do I need help on how to monetize my solution? Am I making sense? I hope I'm making sense. So oftentimes when I get clients, I say, why are you here? Are we trying to get to the bottom of helping you find your answer? What answer you're meant to solve? Or do you need help with the how? And see, a lot of these coaches bait y'all in because they convince y'all that y'all are going to give they're going to give you the how. But what they do is give you an appetizer of the how so they can upsell you to a greater price in order to get the how. And the most savviest of trainers and coaches will give you 3 different price points before you actually get to the how. Up until the highest price point where you probably actually get the how, they have sold you intermediate things that give you a pinch of the how, not the whole how. Do y'all see how this works? Versus just finding somebody who's not a gatekeeper. This be my thing when I do leadership training. Most leaders are not good at developing other leaders. They don't know how to make fishers of men. Now I'm gonna bring the Bible into it for a second. Because Jesus knew his time was limited, he had to do his best to make a lot of fishers, because he knew he wasn't always going to be here to fish. So he couldn't spend a lot of time giving you sprinkles on how to fish. Every single message that Jesus taught gave you the how on how to fish. He didn't have time to sprinkle an answer, honey. He had to give you the whole kit and caboodle. Because every time he spoke, he knew that might be the only time he would get to train that particular group of people on how to fish, because he wasn't always going to be here to fish. The best leaders are not leaders who hold a title. It's leaders who know how to make other leaders. I don't trust anyone who doesn't know how to make a leader after themselves. I don't trust any pastor who can't groom other people to pastor. That means you want to be a dictator, not a leader. There's a difference. So when I actually go into corporations and do leadership development, it's oftentimes trying to help leaders become better leaders and develop other leaders. You are not a leader if you can't teach somebody else how to lead. You're just a dictator, and you're just someone who's barking orders. For those who don't know what I do professionally, that's what a lot of my agency does. Leadership development. helping companies map out their marketing and communication strategies. But my goal, my former clients that were a part of my community, now that community is changed into Grow Her Society. But I used to have a community called the Queen's Table. And my reason for calling it the Queen's Table was an opportunity to give women a seat at the table. I can't stand gatekeepers. It irritates my entire soul. Because what you actually want to create is followers. You want to be the authority. You don't want to create women that actually have the ability to level up like you. Because then what you're doing is grooming your competition, and most people don't like that. So I'll speak, I'll teach, I'll coach, I'll do all the things so that you become a follower, but I won't actually give you the answer that will actually give you the ability to become a leader, because that means I'm creating my own competition. But the Queen's Table will tell you, we don't gatekeep. I don't gatekeep. If I have an answer, I'll give the answer. But at a certain point, you're not going to be sitting here just being in here being pointless, paying for a membership, and you ain't doing nothing with it. I had a lot of students that was able to go and create their own membership. I ain't mad at that. That means I actually did my job. And when it came to my one-on-one, I actually kicked some of my students out. Okay, you ready to fly now, baby? I'm going to discontinue your membership. I'm not here to be taking your money forever. It's fine. You have people that want to pay. But you got to teach people how to fly. I did not raise my kids to be codependent. When my kids had issues, okay, so I'm going to show you what to do, who to call, what to say, how to say it. You got to call and handle this on your own. When my young adults became young adults and they would call us with a problem, we talked to them and worked through them to work with them, work through it to find a solution. But guess who had to make the call? I wasn't making any calls on my young adults' behalf. You actually got to make the call and handle this yourself. We have worked through it. We have helped you get to a solution on how to handle it. Now it's up to you to implement it. We cripple our kids by trying to do everything for them. I'm not making a bunch of calls on your behalf. You're an adult. You got to know how to make calls. And what if I'm not here anymore? What if I'm not available? You got to be able to find your own solutions. You got to be able to handle your own business. Anyway, you said with more leaders, then people are on the right path, but people mostly want followers that can lead them down the wrong road. I'm trying to tell you, Queen, I have no idea. I'm not on the show anymore. Absolutely. We have an issue of chronic followers. Chronic followers. That's problematic. You wonder why people have issues being led astray? Because they're chronic followers. We don't teach people to be independent thinkers. We don't teach people to rightfully divide the word of truth. We don't teach people to push status quo. My kids ask questions, even to us. And a lot of leaders want followers to be blind followers. I question any theology or meology that doesn't allow for it to be questioned and challenged. If you cannot question and challenge those that are in leadership, you're in a dictatorship. Run. You're in a cult. I'm so serious. Leaders are not afraid of questions, and they're not afraid of being challenged. Actually, they're not afraid. I'm not afraid of my kids asking me questions. I'm not afraid of them challenging something I said. Hi, Diva Lady. I'm really not. Well, Saints, I need to prepare for a meeting at 12. I hope you guys have enjoyed this winter wisdom Wednesday. I'm trying to get more in a rhythm and a method of doing these lives more streamlined, and also giving you guys a variety of topics that are in alignment with my channel. If you guys are interested in signing up for anything I had to offer with Grow Her Society, the link is in my bio. The link is in the description of this live on Facebook and YouTube. If you're on TikTok, just go to my profile. You're able to click the link and sign up. And we're going to get to work. That's all I can tell you. I love you guys. I hope you have a great and glorious Wednesday, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.